In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the midfoot fitting options that are available in FitFoot 360. To start with, we're going to take a look at 3/4 length shells, and we're going to look at what options are available to make total contact devices. So in version 1 of FitFoot 360, we had a shrink fit. This has been adapted slightly to add an automated alignment function, where if your alignment between your scan and your shell is not perfect, we auto detect it and can correct for it. So here it's saying, do we want to shift our shell to align better with our foot? And we say yes. And that has done the process of moving the device and shrink fitting it onto the scan. Now, when we do a normal shrink fit in version 1, it is going to suck onto the foot both in the midfoot and the profile. So we're redefining our profile. It's no longer that nice smooth shape we had. It is the foot. And the contact we have all the way through is very, very tight. And we can make that even tighter by turning off the auto smooth and pressing shrink fit again. So it's very, very tight all the way through, like vac forming polypropylene onto a cast. We can make it tighter again by removing concavities. So I do the shrink fit again. Now it's even going to suck up under the met arch. And for some people, that's what they want. But if I recheck that and run it again, you'll see what it's doing when you've got it checked is making it a lot smoother through the forefoot. Once again, as always, you can come in and modify any point you like to get the result you need. So that's shrink fit. What about this one here, the new button called partial shrink fit? Now this is new in version 2 of FitFoot 360, and this has the effect of doing the shrink fit task plus relaxing the profile back out to the original style file or profile selected. So if I press that, you'll see what happens. Here it has created a shrink fit in the middle, but is allowing the shell to drift away from the scan as you get nearer to the arch apex that you selected manually. So the profile is unchanged and the heights are unchanged. This is really, really good where you need to have some space for fat pad expansion. So if I show you here in the heel, you can see that we have a very, very clear space around the heel cup for fat pad expansion. And as we come into the arch, we're getting total contact, but not in the areas where we've told it to be clear. So the shrink fit is a great tool, and if we remove concavities and turn auto smooth off, we're going to get a very tight fit, but a very relaxed fit as well with the profile that we want. When designing full foot devices, we now have 3 options for total contact in the midfoot through the section tool. The first one, looking at version 1 of FitFoot 360, is the full foot contact. So the heel, the midfoot, right the way down to the met heads, it has the effect of pushing the insole up into the foot, literally like memory foam. And we can see through here that we can create a very smooth result. But it stops at the met heads. We can do global smoothing to blend that through and get a really good result. Now the profile stays the same, and the profile height all the way around stays the same as well. So it's not changed by this process. If I reset that, you'll see the surface jump back up. In version 2, there are 2 other options that we can now use. The first one is to use the partial shrink fit. Now the shrink fit in version 1 is great for shells, but with the partial shrink fit, we now have the ability to shrink onto the foot and then relax back out to the EVA profile, so the shoe profile. So if I press that one, we get our EVA profile, but we also get the benefits of a shrink fit. Now this one, because it's doing a shrink and relax, fits through the foot but blends back out to the arch height and the boundary, our profile. So you get this kind of expanded fit, which is great for fat pad expansion. I really like this one. The other one we can now do as well is simply remove material. Now, when I started this design, I chose the EVA style file. The EVA style file deliberately has the surface of the insole pushing through the foot by default. So it aligns to the first, the fifth, and the heel, but the middle portion is higher. Why would I do this? Well, what I can do is a subtraction. So here, where my insole is higher and my foot is lower, if I press this new button down here called remove, it will subtract the foot from the insole, literally like an eraser. And what it's also doing, you may have noticed, is it's increasing the thickness of our insole to maintain a minimum thickness. So here, 3 millimeters. So if I go into my sizing at the bottom, you'll see we're set to 3. Watch what happens if I drop that to 1. My overall thickness of my forefoot is around 3 millimeters, but the reason it's maintaining 1 millimeter is to accommodate that met head there. So there's a 1 millimeter thickness underneath there that's being maintained. So a quick recap. We have the ability to do the normal memory foam, push the insole and the foot together. We have, and that's great, that's going to give us a very tight fit all the way around, but it will maintain the boundary that I have and flare out, creating a rounding on the edge. We have the partial shrink fit, which was a shrink like a vacuum form process followed by a relax. This has a more gradual blend off the foot and maintains the arch height and profile. And the final one we covered was remove, and that simply subtracts the foot from the insole to give us a fit. Okay, and we can still control all of these fits through our settings menu up here to make them tighter. So in this case here, if I was to do a partial shrink fit, I'm going to get a tighter fit through the foot because I've taken auto smooth off. So really, there are a whole bunch of new fitting tools, automated fitting tools that make a dramatic difference to the way in which you design insoles.